Dan Illman, Mike Beer, Sunday's 8th race at Keeneland, an important prep for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf. It is the Grade 3 $250,000 Dixiana Bourbon Stakes. 2-year-olds going a mile and a 16th on the turf. Remember to grab those DRF Keeneland clocker reports. They're hot. DRF.com/Keeneland is where you go. Every racing day during this Keeneland fall meeting, DRF's expert clocker crew, headed by Mike Welsh, will give you the lowdown on all the important morning workouts leading up to these major races. Let's throw up the field for the Grade 3 Dixiana Bourbon. Wide open. 2-year-olds still maturing, many of them stretching out for the first time, many of them with a lot of potential. Fighting CB is undefeated, the winner of the With Anticipation. Field Pass was second in the With Anticipation. You've got Piece of Chi for Mark Cassius, stakes winner at Kentucky Downs. And on the outside is your morning line favorite, Vitology, Grade 1 placed in the Summer Stakes. Let's throw up the Timeform US pace projector. Timeform US believes that the pace will be hot. They have Nettleton, a stretch-out sprinter, on the lead. I could see Nettleton on the lead. I wouldn't be surprised if one or two others made it.
Yeah, this is a very tough pace to project, that's for sure. I think you can see a lot of different horses. This pace could play out a lot of different ways.
Let's talk about the field in post position order, beginning with the one, Hurt So Good, debut winner, going 2 turns at Canterbury. Thought she ran okay that day. She went after her favorite stablemate on the turn, had to work very hard to win that race. Did so, though, with a 51 Beyer speed figure. Came back, stakes placed on dirt. Real nice inside post here, but just slow on numbers.
Yeah, I'm going to have to improve, but, you know, the kind of horse, as you could say, for a lot of these horses that is certainly eligible to take a big step forward here. Did draw well on the inside, is going to be a huge price.
Gear Jockey, 15-1 seems like a fair price for this Rusty Arnold trained maiden who can be close to the pace and drew well. No match against Gozilla, who was the beaten favorite and the hopeful in his career debut. Then they tried Turf and he showed a lot more early speed. He's on the lead, and this Good Trip No Word slips off the rail and beats him in the lane. I thought Gear Jockey ran fine. He probably has to run a little bit better, but this was a promising enough effort.
I thought he ran pretty well in here, too. I liked him in this race. He's got a nice turf pedigree, this horse. Listen, the winner, you know, just a little too good for him. That horse, No Word, did come back and run pretty well the other day in a graded stakes race. So this horse could certainly get the right trip in this race and be there at the end.
The 3 Doc Boy has some ability for Michael Stidham. He just really hasn't figured out the starting gate yet. 2 starts back in the Kitten's Joy. He didn't break well, but I think all in all, the trip worked out for him. Sort of an in-out trip, and then getting up to win over Cadet Connolly, who came back to win, and then was second in the summer at something like 108-1. His most recent race was the Laurel Futurity. We're going to watch that race right now. Doc Boy is in behind horses in the white hat. One of his horse rivals in this race, Field Pass, is on the outside. There wasn't a lot of pace in this race. You're going to see Doc Boy get jammed up. I don't think it was enough to cost him the win, but maybe it cost him a placing.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think he was winning this race, but he certainly has to steady right about there. He was looking for a seam. He didn't really get it. I don't think he was going to win, Dan. He certainly ran well. You know, I liked his 2 wins prior to that. I thought he ran well both of those times and both of those races, only in 4-horse fields both times. I don't know. There's something to this horse. I think he has a chance in here.
The 4 of the Third Secret's just got a lovely pedigree. He's by Tappet. His dam was Grade 3 placed on the turf. She has foaled 2 black-typed earners on dirt, including a graded stakes winner. This horse really was professional, I thought, at Kentucky Downs last time out. We'll turn to the stretch of this race, and he saved ground early, then picked his way through in between horses, and now he's on his way on the outside, just rolls right by the pace setter. This horse is just bred to go longer. I think he's going to get some pace. 15-1 on the morning line's a very good price.
We'll see how they bet it. I liked that effort for him. I thought he really improved, especially when you go back and compare it to his debut at Ellis Park, where he had blinkers on for that race, and he almost turned himself sideways to try to get a look at the stands at the top of the stretch. He was not focused on running that race, and it cost him at the end.
Fighting CB is the number 5. You scored out on him in this race, the Grade 3 With Anticipation. What a clever ride from Brian Hernandez Jr. He put Fighting CB out on the lead, and as they turned to the stretch, no one ever went after him. They went 50 and change for the half, 115 basically for 3/4. No wonder he has enough left to turn off Field Pass, who's just to his outside on Sunday. Good effort, though, from Fighting CB, and I liked his Ellis Park debut where he rallied from off the pace. He just seems very logical here.
Yeah, he really does. I really liked his debut as well. That was a really nice performance. This race, he sort of took advantage of the misfortune of others in there. but he still ran, Dan. They put him on the front. He turned away a challenge. He was clear under the wire. This is a pretty good horse, I think.
Field Pass won his maiden at Saratoga. I thought he got a very nice trip and ride from Luis Saez that day, just basically riding the hedge and getting up to win. We saw his race in the With Anticipation. I thought he was compromised, being wide up against that slow pace. And last time out in the Laurel Futurity again, he was kind of outside. Interesting that Michael Maker's putting the blinkers on, and maybe that will get this horse a little bit more focused. 6-1 on the morning line. I could see it.
Yeah, the blinkers thing isn't something I consider, but maybe you're right. Maybe he just needs a little something extra. When he broke his maiden at Saratoga, he got an absolute perfect trip. I think he's run well in his 2 starts since then, but I didn't really see big excuses for him.
The number 7 is Nettleton. And really the key for Nettleton is whether he'll be able to stretch out in distance as a son of Cantharos, basically known as a sire of sprinters. Nettleton won his career debut sprinting for a really good trainer, Jorge Abreu. It was also a really wet track. We turn to the stretch of this race, and Nettleton was chasing a fast pace, Mike. Let's give him some extra credit for that. He's on the outside right now. He's going to confront this horse. He's going to put him away, and then he's going to hold off all the closers. I thought it was a good effort. I want to see him do it around 2 turns.
Yeah, the distance is a real question for him, especially with only 1 race behind him. But I thought he ran well in this race. They obviously liked him, Dan. They bet him down in this race. He didn't break that sharply from the gate. But he got himself into position. He loomed at the top of the stretch, and he got it done at the end.
Deviant has turned into a new horse on turf with some distance down at Retama and Louisiana Downs. Let's watch his race in the Sunday Silence. Nice ride by Lane Luzzy. He saved ground most of the way. He's now angled him to the far outside, which is what you want to do with an odds-on horse, and Deviant does the rest. He's too good for these horses, but the horses he's facing on Sunday are better.
I like both of his turf races, but I agree with you. It's a big step up in class for this horse. It's funny. I always like the horses coming out of the Sunday Silence. They very rarely turn out to be good enough.
The 9 is Prince of Thieves, and this horse is a bit slow on paper, but I think there's something here, and I think he's going to appreciate the stretch out in distance for trainer Mark Casse. For most of the day on September 7th at Kentucky Downs, you didn't want to close, but this was one of the races that just seemed to fall apart. Let's watch Prince of Thieves rally into 3rd. He's going to come on the outside right now, and he's kicking into gear. This pace was very fast, though. He gets up for 3rd. I think he's learning the game. I could use this horse underneath.
Yeah, I thought he ran okay in this race. I thought his debut was pretty good as well. Now they're going to stretch him all the way out. It's all going to come down to what kind of trip he can get.
Peace Achieved has really improved with blinkers and distance for Mark Casse. I liked the way he put them to bed last time out in that juvenile stakes at Kentucky Downs. Not a very fast pace, but once he made the front, he spurted away from them, and he keeps his mind on his business here to earn a 70 Beyer speed figure, and he can also be close to the pace. I think they're going to send him out there, maybe try to sit off Nettleton and another horse and get into a nice relaxed stalking spot.
I'm pretty impressed with his 2 races since they stretched him out. He's really finished both of those races off really well. This horse, he might be very tough to beat in here.
Now, Peace Achieved won that race very easily at Kentucky Downs. The 11, Kid Mercury, had to work a little bit harder to win his maiden on September the 8th. We turn into the stretch there, and Kid Mercury is in the yellow silks in between horses, and he's kind of just gutting this one out to win with a 63 Beyer speed figure. Improved with blinkers. He really has a nice pedigree.
Yeah, he's really well bred, very well connected. His debut at Monmouth was a race he really needed. He did not break well in that race. They just sort of let him finish on his own. Took a big step forward with the blinkers last time. Another horse, I think he's got a big shot in here, Dan.
Art Collector looked good winning his race at Kentucky Downs last time out, and he ran into a couple of nice ones at Saratoga in his career debut. It's a shame he's got a lousy post position because this horse has some ability. Let's watch his race at Kentucky Downs. I mean, he just took over into the straight, bursted clear, and wins really with no problem whatsoever, and he's got figs. His damn Distorted Legacy wants to go long, so don't worry about him stretching out. Distorted Legacy finished 2nd in the Flower Bowl.
Yeah, this horse has plenty of pedigree to stretch out. There's no doubt about it. I'm with you. I thought his debut was good, and he got a perfect trip last time, but I really liked the way that he finished that race off.
Ete Indien came from nowhere in his debut at Gulfstream. What a learning debut. He didn't break very well. He saved ground early. He must have ended up something like 4-5 path on the turn, and we turn to the stretch, and there's no way he's winning this 5 furlong race. He's 3rd on the outside right now with no chance. But a combination of these horses getting real tired in front of him and Ete Indien coming with a big run, it gets him to the wire in time. This horse was working in 110 prior to his debut. There's some talent here.
Yeah, I think he's talented as well. This is a very big stretch out for this horse as he steps up in class, and he's got to do it from post 13. It's a lot to overcome.
And you've got the morning line favorite mired out in post 14 in Vitology, who ran a good 3rd in the Summer Stakes last time out. We'll watch that race. He's just kind of mired in behind horses right now. He's in the red silks. He's looking for a way to get out. He really doesn't get out until too late. And when he does, he comes with an okay run, not a great kick. But as you see, he's looking for some racing room, and he didn't really get it. I guess Javier's just going to break, take him back to last, and hope something works out from a pace standpoint?
I guess he's going to have to do that. He did run pretty well in this race because the trip really didn't work out, and it just so happens the horse that wins the race is pretty good as well. Boy, it's really tough for him to win from post 14, Dan, but he's pretty good.
I think he's pretty good as well. I'm going to use him. I picked him second in the Grade 3 Bourbon. Let's see who we used on top. I'm going to go right back to the 5 Fighting CB. Yeah, he had a nice trip last time out, but his Ellis Park race showed that he can overcome a little adversity in the debut. I like his kick. You're going with the 4, the Third Secret, who's just all potential.
Yeah, he is. That's why I liked him. I know he'll be a price in this race. It just felt like a wide open kind of race. So I'll take a horse who's going to be a little bit of a better price. I went 4, 5, 10, 11.
I went 5, 14, 12, 2 in race number 8, the Grade 3 Bourbon. It's that kind of race, the Dixiana Bourbon. It has an approximate post time of 5:10 Eastern. Good luck.